Everybody, Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Monday here on the show. You know what that means? I just finished a show with Filthy Tom. Up now for subscribers. You can listen to it after this show. And we had a lot to talk about. SmackDown. We watched a MMA shoot battle royal, although it sucked. If you want to hear about how much it sucked and why, that's a show for you. But hey, on this show today, we got a lot to get into because tonight is Raw, and we got a lot going on Raw, including a return from injury coming up here tonight. And we got returns. We also have departures because on Friday, this weekend actually, whole bunch of people gone from WWE. And also, it appears people gone from AEW as well. So we'll talk about who is gone when we come back from the first break. We've also got, well, you know, one door closes, another door opens. We have 12 new NXT names. And I have them for you here on the program today. We will read them together. Also, we got a New Japan show coming up tonight. Dave and I are going to watch some of that before we do Observer Radio later on. So, a lot of big matches on the show. We got that to talk about. NXT and Dynamite as well. The Raw Report and, of course, a lot of TV this weekend, including SmackDown. And I'm telling you, man, the best Collision maybe in years this past Saturday night. My God, that show was great. So a lot to get into here today. If you want to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4W Online at gmail.com. F4W Online, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. Valentine's Day cameos. I'm here for you. At Bryan Alvarez, X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment. Observer Live.
No senton bomb. Don't do it. do it, man.
Back here on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com.
We're ready.
Yeah, was that right?
I guess.
Good.
You should be. You're all warmed up after doing that filthy tongue.
I'm not sure if warmed up is the right phrase. Hey, we got a lot going on at Mania weekend. Want to plug that real quick because it's getting closer. My God, it's February 10th already. And if you're going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania, and I know a lot of you are, we got a lot of events going on that you can join us for, including Dave Meltzer and I doing a live Q&A and meet and greet Friday, April 18th at noon at the Palms Resort Casino. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on at the Palms. So I know a lot of you will be there anyway. If you're staying elsewhere on the Strip, the Palms is a block off the Strip, very easy to get to. That is Friday, April 18th at noon. Q&A, myself and Dave, a meet and greet. Come say hi. We got a special lunch on Saturday at Texas de Brazil. Eat all you can at the Brazilian Steakhouse with us. You can also eat all you can Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Wicked Spoon, which, man, was that place awesome last year as well. We've also got watch parties on Saturday and Sunday, and after parties on Saturday and Sunday as well. Ed's got a show of some sort, some Podair Mania 4 or 5 or something.
He's had matches and everything already.
We'll see about that. Tickets for all of this available at f4wonline.com/Vegas. That is f4wonline.com/Vegas. Head up there and grab your tickets now to attend all of these events. Don't wait. Get them now. And get that locked in for WrestleMania weekend. Easter Sunday weekend with us. This will be a lot of fun. Says I won't be in Vegas till Saturday afternoon. I'll miss a lot of the fun. No, you won't. There's a lot of stuff. There's the watch party, the after party, the Wicked Spoon, the watch party. That's 5 things.
Plus, it's Las Vegas. You can make up for lost time very quickly.
Yes. Matt here, Matt England. The convention is an insane value compared to WrestleMania. Is it ever? Is it ever? So join us, friends, and let's have some fun. All right, a couple of things, including releases. So it started on Friday when WWE got rid of a bunch of people. We've got Cedric Alexander. I guess we'll talk about these people one at a time, all right? So the gist of this is WWE is now TKO. So a lot of people's WWE deals are coming up, and they need to sign TKO deals. Now, if you are a big name, you're going to make big money from TKO. If you're not a big name, I don't think you're going to be making as big a money with TKO. So we'll start with Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander was on a main roster contract working in NXT. That is often the kiss of death, as it was in this case. Sonya Deville may have been the biggest surprise of anybody, as she was working the main roster and featured regularly. And she was released. So what that suggests to me is that she was on a WWE deal. The deal was likely coming due. The deal that TKO offered her was, I guess she figured, I ain't doing that. And she is gone. That is my guess as to what happened with Sonya Deville, because that one is a surprise. Authors of Pain. They've tried with Authors in Pain for years and years and years and years and years, and it never worked out. Never did much with them. They were just there. They were just bodies on the roster, as well as Paul Ellering. You know, he vanished for a while, and we thought that was the end of him, but then he came back, and turns out it was the end of him. Blair Davenport is gone. And I don't know what kind of deal she had, but that could have been the deal there. Gallows and Anderson, they got moved to NXT on main roster deals. Usually not a good sign. Isla Dawn is gone. No word on Alba Fire, but Isla is gone. So that's kind of interesting. They got rid of one but not the other. Although maybe Alba is not answering her phone, which is not the worst idea on days like this. And then Elektra Lopez is gone as well. And she had been put with Legado del Fantasma as basically just a person in the group. They rarely had her wrestle. You know, she was a good character, a good promo when needed, but not really a good wrestler. And also gone. And my guess is that Zelina Vega will likely be returning to Legado del Fantasma with the departure of Elektra Lopez. So those are that's the current list of people released from WWE. And they have also, vanishing from the AEW roster page, Miro, after all these years, is now off the roster page. Malachi Black, as we all knew. And Malachi Black, his wrestling school is called, I believe, the Dark Arts Academy. And if you recall, Dark Arts is what Chad Gable said he was going to go learn from a secret person. So my guess is that is the Easter egg to lead to the return of Malachi, Aleister Black in WWE. But I also have been told, I don't know if this is true or not, I sure hope it is, that Chad Gable is actually going to be working some dates for AAA. That sounds awesome. And Ricky Starks, who won the Defy title this weekend, also off of the AEW roster page. So he might be free after all of these years as well. So that's the latest list of releases. And I would say really the only one that is a big surprise is Sonya Deville.
I hope Chad's not working with Alberto El Patron when he goes down there. Another option for Zelina Vega would be to hook her back up with Andrade now that Andrade is back. If you wanted,
that's what I just said. She'd be back with Legado.
Well, Legado?
Oh, Andrade.
Yeah,
I could put her back with Andrade.
Well, or you could put her with Malachi Black if you wanted to do something, with a touch. Look, a lot of their success comes in the fact that they're doing things that are steeped in reality, and I think a lot of people know that Zelina and Malachi are together, and if you wanted to put them together and make her the mouthpiece, you could do that if you wanted to. Elektra Lopez is no surprise. She and Indy Hartwell were alike in that they looked great, and they had a presence, and I wasn't thrilled about Elektra's promos, but, she promoted a lot better than she wrestled, but she had been around for a long, long time. Blair Davenport, it's just like they never could figure out what to do with her, and she was going to linger there. AOP and Paul Ellering, I never really saw it with AOP, and obviously nobody else did either. Paul brought him back, and it didn't work. I think he brought back Cedric as well, too. I don't think this is the first time Cedric has been released, is it? So, again, same thing. What is he going to do? He's probably better off trying to go apply things elsewhere. The one surprise to me, other than Sonya, was Isla Dawn, in that I thought there was some potential there, and her team with Alba was good. But then again, when you have so many people that are coming through that system, time's going to be short, I think, for some.
Here says, WWE random release is a tradition like no other. These are not random releases. It is time to call people up from NXT. Have you guys seen the NXT rosters? They're starting this new Evolve show, and they're going to be putting a lot of the developmental talent on the Evolve show. NXT, I mean, if you want to still call it developmental, you can. It's not a developmental group. It is a third brand. And I do think the thing with NXT is they do pay less than the main roster. So because of that, it is hard to move people from Raw and SmackDown to NXT. But honestly, they got the money. They should be paying the NXT stars at least something resembling what they make on the main roster. I mean, the main roster wrestlers, they're not touring anymore. I mean, they do occasional house shows, but I mean, they probably do the same number of house shows for NXT. They don't draw as big a crowds, obviously, but, as far as you're working generally the same number of days. The NXT show's doing 850,000 viewers. It's still doing fine. I mean, I think that you should mix it up a little bit more. And the NXT roster is gigantic. 40 women alone on the NXT roster. And I'm sure probably similar number of men. Time to move people up. They got to make room. They got to get rid of some main roster people. Back in a moment with some new NXT names. Observer Live. Are you heading to Las Vegas for WrestleMania? If so, clear some time on the calendar because we have a lot of great events. It's our annual convention, the WrestlingObserver.com/F4W online convention in Las Vegas this year on WrestleMania weekend. April 18th, Friday, April 19th and 20th. We got special events every day. Friday will be the Dave Meltzer, Bryan Alvarez live Q&A. You can show up. We've got a meet and greet. Perhaps we'll have some merch, and you can ask us any question that you would like at the live Q&A. This will not appear as a podcast, a video podcast, audio podcast. You can only see and hear the Dave Meltzer, Bryan Alvarez Q&A if you attend live. That is April 18th at noon at the beautiful Palms Resort Casino in Las Vegas. We will also have wrestling watch parties. Have you ever wanted to watch wrestling with Dave Meltzer? 2 wrestling watch parties coming up that weekend, as well as 2 after parties. What is an after party? It's exactly what it sounds like. After WrestleMania, both nights, you'll be able to come back to a suite. I'll be there, Dave, a bunch of other friends and subscribers, and you'll get to party. We'll have alcohol, food, and more. These are the after parties after WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. If you want to go, you got to buy your tickets now. Tickets available for everything at f4wonline.com/Vegas. Easy. f4wonline.com/Vegas. Did I mention we're going to have a group dinner at Texas Day Brazil? It's an all-you-can-eat steakhouse, all-you-can-eat steak. I hear some of you right now, I don't eat meat. Doesn't matter. They have the best salad bar you'll ever see. Texas Day Brazil. You can grab your tickets for that meet and greet / dinner as well. Where? f4wonline.com/Vegas. See you there. Is it because it's my channel?
I don't know. These are stumbles with technology Brian is going through right now, trying to, believe this or not, unblock Lenny.
Yeah, I kind of miss Lenny, but I'm trying to unblock him and I can't find it. They're like, go to your settings. I don't have settings. I go to settings and I get the settings for the entire channel. I can't find personal settings. I think it's because it's my channel, F4W Online.
Do you have to go to the desktop, or are you on the desktop?
I am on the desktop.
Okay. You don't have to get snarky.
Yeah, you do. Settings.
Yes, that's
Profile picture, settings, disable your account. No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, security and privacy. Let's see. What do we got here?
Who else you got blocked?
Oh, here we go. Show blocked users. I got one. Lenny.
Just Lenny.
I found it. All right, I unblocked him. Let's see how long that lasts. So you got to be on your best behavior, Lenny. You got it?
Show and prove, Lenny.
Yeah, don't be a dummy. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much. Okay. Can't wait to see his first tweet. I'm sure it's going to be something about how terrible WWE is for releasing people.
Well, I don't
Even
know.
though
Maybe
AEW just
gotta...
released people as well. Remember when he guaranteed that they were not going to release Malachi? Malachi would be back for the long haul? Black, so to speak. Malachi Black.
Missed that one?
Yeah, he whiffed.
What do you think Malachi's new name should be when he goes to
He's going to be Aleister Black.
Oh, no. Come on. Why don't we put his name through
That's what he was before, for crying out loud.
Yeah, put his name through a generator.
They bring back... We'll get to that. They bring back everybody under their old... She's not Medusa. She has to come back as Alundra Blaze.
Alundra Blaze?
Yes.
Can he be the new Fandango?
No, we already have Fandango. Fandango's in NXT.
He's JDC.
No, he came out of the Fandango music and the whole 9 yards.
He's the man unnamed.
All right, so they got a list of new NXT names. Which reminds me, I talked about this on the Filthy Tom show. So, Paisley is into Diary of a Wimpy Kid. She's reading all these books.
Yes.
And she still likes me to read to her. So I was reading her the book the other day, and, books are weird. Dude, it's like just one thing after another happens. I don't even know if there's a story to the books. It's just like this happened, and then this happened, and this happened, or whatever. So anyway, I'm reading this book, and I get to some story about some other kid at this other kid's school, and his name is Purvis Gentry.
Oh, my God.
My God, I read that name.
Poppin' peas.
And Paisley lost it.
Never nervous, Purvis?
Absolutely lost it. At Purvis Gentry. Like, we couldn't even keep reading. She laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. I did as well. Because I thought, my God, if there has ever been an NXT name, it's Purvis Gentry. So, as you keep that name Purvis Gentry in your head, let's look at these actual NXT names.
These have been trademarked with the United States.
Some of them aren't terrible. Others are. We have Harley Riggins.
Starting off hot.
Yeah. Harley Reno Riggins.
If this isn't a white guy from the Midwest with a curly fro, what are we even doing here? Harley Race? John Riggins? Come on.
Harley Riggins. By the way, I unblocked him. I still don't get his messages here. Do I gotta reboot? What do I gotta do here? Let's try that. See if that works. Then we have got Aria Bennett. Aria, you say?
Sure.
Aria Bennett.
We got an Aria on the site, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Winter.
Surprised he didn't call himself Ari Bennett. Braxton Cole.
Oh, come on. That's really lazy. You're just taking announcers' names now from the past and mixing them together.
Braxton Cole.
Come on.
Then we've got Mason Holiday. They spelled Mason with a Y.
Oh, come on.
It's one of the things.
Wait, is it like Mason Wynn? Is it M-A-Y-S-N?
M-A-S-Y-N.
Oh.
Holiday. Hey, listen. It's like... You can't top Jasmine Nix. Jazmynnyx. That's how they spell it.
Somebody was playing Scrabble and wanted
Jasmine Nix. We have, and I guarantee this person has to be blonde, Summer Sorrell. Summer Sorrell. I talked to somebody that worked there who likes to give me a hard time. And even they were like, I when the show's not on, I can't tell one from another. They have so many blondes in NXT. They're just everywhere. Everywhere.
Teeming with
blondes. And I mean, the best was the time that, what's her name came out? The one that's hanging out with the gangsters? Izzy Dame?
Izzy Dame.
Yeah, they put Izzy Dame on the screen and the fans started chanting Tiffy time, because they actually thought it was Tiffany. And they were disappointed when it wasn't. But anyway, Summer Sorrell.
Sorrell.
Yes.
I can appreciate the alliteration, but I don't know about Sorrell.
We also have, I swear to God, Hayes Jameson. Haze Jameson.
Hey, so do you think that's a woman's name then?
Hey, is this
Hayes?
someone? Is this someone that bullies others? Is this someone who's like a unrepentant smoker? Is this someone who
Hayes?
never knows what's going on? Hayes Jameson.
That's not a poor name. Hey, Jameson is not a poor name, whoever you are in the Twitch chat.
Only the most famous one ever. Hayes Jameson.
That's it. That's, I guess, right.
Of all people, Mike. Dear
I don't
God
know.
Almighty.
I was, more
God.
of a
Look at the chat. Absolutely aghast.
Dominic Simone fan at the time.
Tate Wilder.
Now that's, Tate Wilder. That could be a member of FTR.
Wilder
or that
and
could be
Young.
a porn star,
Wilder and Young. Jax Presley.
Jax Presley.
Yeah, do we really need two JAX in this company?
No.
Nia Jax and Jax Presley. Maybe Jax Presley is a guy, and they could do a deal where he marries Nia Jax, and then I guess it would be he could take her last name, Jax. And then Facebook, he could put Jax Presley, Jax, for his old friends.
Nee Presley.
Osiris Griffin. Osiris Griffin. Yeah. He better have an Egyptian gimmick. He better come out of a pyramid is his entrance. Osiris Griffin.
Wasn't that the old dirty bastard, one of his names for a while?
Another one I cannot make up. Draco Knox.
What the hell kind of
You heard me.
Draco Knox?
You heard me.
He's a Romanian machine gun / Mike Knox's brother.
Draco Knox.
Draco.
We've got Trill London.
Trillburger?
What? Trill
Trillburgers.
London. Which then Jordan Grace called dibs on. Jordan, I'm begging you. No.
Well, Brian.
No. Not Trill London.
We may need a, do you know what the definition of trill is? Being genuine, being real, being true. In fact, it's true and real together. Doesn't impress you at all? No?
No.
It's like you watching
Absolutely,
the
positively.
halftime show last night.
Positively not. Yeah, Mr. Trillburger.
Yeah.
That guy.
This person better be from Houston if you're using trill.
And finally, Chantel Monroe. That sounds like a...
Chantel Monroe sounds like an actual person. But the thing is, they'll change somebody's name to that from like another name that's going to be very close to that. It's like the Kalani Jordan thing. It's like, why are you really doing this?
Kalani Jordan is nothing like her real name.
No, but like that's the whole thing is why are you going through... But it's not like her real name is exotic either. It's not like Kalani Jordan's the most exotic name in the world. So it's like you're just substituting somebody's real name for... It's not even flashy. It's not... I don't know.
Leah Mitchell.
What's the big difference between Leah Mitchell and Kalani Jordan?
Well, Kalani Jordan is much more dynamic than
Is
Leah
she Hawaiian
Mitchell.
now, or what do we got going on there?
My daughter's named Hanalei. She's not a Hawaiian. You're allowed to call yourself Kalani.
Yeah, but as fast as you can move that whole family there, you're doing it. I know it. You want out of this.
I wouldn't get out of this by doing that.
Actually, no, you do it on the beach.
I'd have to
like
work
Art
even
Bell
harder.
would. Art Bell moved to Singapore.
Who wants to
wherever
do
it
that?
was.
All right, anyway, those are the names. I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch Evolve. So I can...
What's Jack Cartwheel's new name?
Well, I don't know what his new name is.
Like Cart Jack Wheel or something? I don't know.
I don't know if Jack Cartwheel got a new name.
I think he did.
Everyone's very excited for Osiris Griffin.
Osiris Boombirus.
Osiris Griffin.
Well, there hasn't been an Osiris in wrestling since what? Ernie Osiris? In Ring of Honor? Dirty Ernie?
He probably was the only other Osiris we've seen. Let's see if we have any text messages.
But we've had Osiris. Whatever happened to that guy?
Do some TV after the break. This person hates February 10th. Thanks.
Is that like March 15th or whatever
He
it was
took
for
he took the
Kane?
time to text me to let me know he hated today.
It's Monday.
Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died.
Yeah.
All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie
What
about
is
this.
up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was gonna say the very
There have
first
been
one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many
Yes.
problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect our audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're
Yes,
done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
Okay, just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Right over there.
We're about to break scoops on this show once Brian finds out what Lenny knows about some certain situations.
Well, you know, Lenny claimed that Malachi was not going anywhere, and then of course he's gone. And I was told that Lenny had an explanation for it, and I couldn't figure out how to unblock him when he explained it. So now I'm waiting,
Lenny, call in.
and I also need to know if his podcast is available yet. I've been
Lenny's
waiting a
one
long
that's-
time for Lenny's podcast. Subjectively Lenny. Yes.
Not objectionably, Lenny.
Well, he is objectionable, but the story, the name of the podcast is Subjectively Lenny.
Plans change.
I gave
Lenny,
it to him.
like
I gave him that name.
Good job, Corey.
I gave him that name. Now,
Good.
actually, this is very interesting. I asked ChatGPT, this person said, for NXT names, and this is what it provided me with without explaining anything. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. It's too late. Damn it.
What?
I should have read the AI ones first and then the real ones, and then everybody guess which was real and which was AI. Okay, here are the Chat GPT. Are these better or worse than the actual? Here are the actual ones. Harley Riggins, Aria Bennett, Braxton Cole, Mason Holiday, Summer Sorrell, Hayes Jameson, Tate Wilder, Jax Presley, Osiris Griffin, Draco Knox, Trill London, and Chantel Monroe. Now let's look at the AI names. I'll read 10 of those. Jackson Creed, Maddox Steele, Ryder Vaughn,
Maddox Steele.
Talon Hayes, Blaze Archer,
Blaze
Zane
Archer.
Mercer, Kane Draven, Griven Stryker, and Colt Maddox.
Colt
Dude,
Maddox.
they're exactly the same.
I know.
They're exactly the same. If I would have read those, nobody would have said, wait a second, that's not the real names.
Max Steele.
Yeah. God, there's even better ones down here even further.
What you got?
Dude, if you're in an NIL deal, like listen to this right now. I got some good names for you. Rogan Pierce, Beckett Cruz, Dante Briggs,
Dante.
Troy Valor. He's got to be a military gimmick.
Jack
Lexon
Valor.
Wolf, Asher Vance, Brody Kincaid, Deacon Fury. Batista would like that one.
Hey, Deacon.
Slade Monroe, Jet Reigns, and Rico Storm.
Oh, is it Jet with 2 T's?
Yeah. Golly.
Rico Storm.
Yeah. Person says, I'd pay to see Zane Mercer. There's a lot I'd pay
What
to
about
see.
Shane Mercer?
How
Against
come,
Alex
how come
Zane.
no one has taken Colt Maddox? I guess we had Brad Maddox.
He may have screwed it up for everybody.
Remember that guy?
Maddox.
All right. Well, we had SmackDown, and we had...
A pretty good collision.
Dude, it was the best collision in years.
That
Name
is-
name a better one. That's my challenge to everybody.
I don't know. CM
Name
Punk's
a better
first
collision.
one? I have no idea. Whichever one had Jay and Juice against FTR, because that match was awesome. So I'll take that. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that match was awesome. But was the
First-
entire show as good as this show?
the
Doubtful.
first thing about this show is like the same thing about Wednesday's Dynamite. You really, if you're an AEW fan, you really want to support them. You really want to put like the best foot forward to try to get things back on track. Do your little part. Number one, buy tickets. They need you to do that. But also, when you buy a ticket, make noise like the people in Cincinnati have done or wherever they were last week for Dynamite, because that was awesome. And then in Texas for Collision, keep going to Rosenberg, Texas, or wherever they were, because that crowd was hot.
Dude, it's called a smaller building in a decent area
Yeah, but
where
they've had some
fans
small
don't go
buildings.
all the time.
They've had some small buildings. No, look, Texas gets a lot of wrestling, and I think what they did was balance that show really well with things that locally they would have wanted to see, while also pushing everything else forward. Look, it was a really good show, even if you didn't love every single part of it.
See, let me find out what building it was. Because there is an irony about all of this. Which,
Look, because they've been in some small buildings and the people have been sitting on their hands. It's been cold. It's been this. It's been that. Look, again, the smaller buildings are going to help no matter what.
Okay.
Short ceilings, all that.
this show was at the Fort Bend Epicenter in Rosenberg, Texas.
All right.
And, like, a lot of people were making fun of this building. They were making fun of the building. It's out in the middle of nowhere, this, that, and the other thing. Well, you know what? And this was actually
Haven't they been there before?
this is different from
Or I thought they've been there multiple times. I thought
yeah, they had a
NXT's been
Dynamite there.
Okay.
They had a Dynamite there. But like you know, sometimes there's this idea that has a lot to do, I think, with ego, which is I got to run the big building in the hot part of town, okay? Now, yes, Defy, they're doing well outside. It's in Seattle, Washington Hall. But it's like it's on, you know, the other side of the freeway. It's kind of it's out a little ways from like downtown Seattle. And, it's not that big a building. It's not like they're trying to run a climate pledge, okay? So, I remember years and years ago when there actually was something of a scene in Washington State. It wasn't much of a scene. And it was the same thing down in Oregon. It was like you would see people running shows all over the area in Washington and Oregon, but they would never run in like Seattle. They would run outside of Seattle. And, they would go out to this place or that place or wherever. And, it was always like, why don't you run in the big city? It's like, dude, you run in a big city and you're competing with 8,000 different things on a Friday night or a Saturday night. And you're going to pay out the you-know-what for rent, and you're not going to draw well. Whereas you go to a place where there ain't nothing else to do. And the rent is cheap, and you put a lot of people in that building. And, that's hey, listen, one of these days, AEW might be hot enough to go back to the big building in the big city, okay? But you want to run outside of town in an area that people think is, hey, who would possibly run there? Well, those people wanted to go to wrestling. And the ones that did go had a hell of a time. And you know how good this crowd was? I'm going to tell you how good this crowd was.
How good was it?
The worst match on this show, the worst match on Collision, was
Kyle
Thunder
Fletcher.
Rosa and Penelope Ford, okay? This was one of those matches where if you turn the sound down and watch this match, it was a bad match. Like, they got lost. They didn't know what was going on. They just stood there and looked at each other regularly. It looked like Penelope got killed multiple times. But, turn the volume up. These fans were into this match from start to finish. And in fact, this women's match, Penelope Ford and Thunder Rosa, had way better heat than the TV return of Alexa Bliss on SmackDown. They did Alexa Bliss versus Candice in an Elimination Chamber qualifier. Alexa's first match on television in forever. That crowd was dead. But man, for whatever reason, they were super into Thunder Rosa, I'm sure Texas, and Penelope Ford. And literally that was the worst thing on the show. Everything else on the show, people hate the Death Riders. All they do is complain. They did that angle at the beginning of the show where Moxley came out and him and Marina are like beating up geeks. This frickin' guy got so much heat. And he hyped up the match at the Australia show. And, I mean, that's
what helped. He hit and ran as fast as Moxley could go in this day and age with his promos, and it actually made it more intense, and it made it feel, I don't want to say made it feel more dangerous or anything, but the fact he was in there and out of there so fast, it actually, to me, played everything up better.
It was a hot segment. We had Undisputed Era. They actually got a big win. Shane Taylor Promotions, Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic. And it was a great wild party match. And then afterwards, they got attacked by Wheeler, Pac, and Claudio, and they set up a trios title match on Dynamite. My gut tells me, if you put a gun to my head, I would say that Wheeler, Pac, and Claudio are retaining the titles, but Undisputed Era should win them on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they should win them on Wednesday.
Wheeler is being played for a fool. It's not like he's gained any ground inside that group. He just continues to lose it and get pushed around. Him taking an L after getting laid out by everybody because his partners weren't there for whatever reason, that can make some sense. And again, he just gets the title into the mix of being defended.
We had Bandito and Brian Keith, which not only was like a great little match, but like it was one of those matches where when you watch it, when it's over, all you can think is, this Bandito is like top 10 in this company. He should be pushed hard.
He's special.
But I've thought that many, many times and been unimpressed with the follow-up. So we shall see. But for this night on this show, this was great. We had a LFI squash. And then we got the hilarious return of, what's his name?
Commander then Hologram.
Hologram, yes.
I don't want his help, Brian.
Dude, Commander's getting murdered, and Hologram decides to make the save after he airs his expertly put together video of himself. And, like, they actually cut to the ring at one point during, like, right after the video ended, and Commander was being murdered the entire time. And Hologram finally comes out to save this poor guy.
The only thing missing was him doing a Jeff Hardy dance, like when he came out to save his brother or whatever it was.
We had halftime Harley, where she sang a song on an off-tune guitar, and it made Mercedes very upset. And finally, she decks her, and Mercedes accepts the match for Grand Slam.
She's right. She does make Mercedes good just with her around.
I
She does.
liked the segment. I would have liked it better if they would have thought of this in advance and given Harley maybe like a second win in her career
No, that's
on
true.
this show. We had some promos with Buddy and Okada and Dustin. All good promos. It was good stuff. And then, as noted, we had the Penelope Ford, Thunder Rosa. We had a hilarious segment. Speaking of Trill, old Trill Burgers backstage.
Bun B.
Bun B of Trill
Yes.
Burgers is there. And Ricochet shows up, says, I think your burgers, let me try one. He tastes it, he spits it out, tremendous heat. And one of the workers there goes, well, everyone seems to like him. And so Ricochet grabs this guy and he beats the crap out of him. And then he cuts a promo on old Bun B. And then he leaves, and Bun B is so concerned that he turns to this poor guy that got beat up, and he's like, get your ass up! There are burgers to cook.
Gotta plow through, brother.
Shay Carmichael and Mariah May. Mariah beats her up. Shay is dressed like Tony. And, like, none of this is explained why. We have to guess. And the announcers are clueless. They're like, did she dress like Tony on purpose, or did Mariah make her dress like? No one knows. So Mariah beats her, and then Luther comes out with the bloody shoe. And, you know, Mariah gets mad. She goes to beat up the jobber again, but Tony has traded places with the jobber, and nobody noticed because they did such a good misdirection with Luther. And she runs wild. Mariah goes running. It's a good segment. And then the main event was Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe. Freaking awesome match. I mean, unbelievably great. Mark Briscoe is awesome. And Kyle Fletcher ends up pinning him with the top rope brainbuster. And then vowing next week he will not only beat Ospreay and Omega, but he will prove that they are no longer the future. He is. Best collision in forever. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts. God, how I miss Lenny.
Oh,
He just
man.
popped me right before we went on the air. You know the tag team of the year is Lenny and LH3310.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're teaming up right now against casual fans. This is the new
Is
one.
that a person's name
Yeah.
in there?
One of the
or-
problems with AEW is these casual fans.
in general.
We don't want them catering to these casuals. We want no casuals. Get them out of here. Casuals
where-
are convinced the in-ring stuff doesn't matter, says Lenny. Casuals are the lowest common denominator of fans in the grand scheme.
Aren't they all run off now, Lenny? Isn't that where you're down to now? What did Collision get last week?
You know what? Hey, you know what?
176?
You know what Lenny's not going to have? Casual fan listeners to his podcast.
On subjectively
Subjectively
Lenny.
Lenny, yes.
The first episode.
Wonder how many
will be
hardcores he'll
titled-
get. How many sickos?
That's F those casuals. The first
Yeah.
name of the podcast.
God, these casuals. They're the worst kind of fan.
The
How
dark
dare
worst.
they enjoy wrestling unless they don't enjoy it like me? Just casually enjoy it? Ridiculous! Ka! Hey, you know, it's Monday, isn't it? Yeah.
It feels like it.
So tonight, it's going to be Wrestling Observer Radio with Dave. We're going to talk about Raw. Men's Elimination Chamber with Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul tonight. Bailey and Lyra. Also, the return of Dakota Kai and Io versus Liv and Raquel. AJ appears and CM Punk appears. And then tonight, New Japan. Are you ready for this, Mike?
I am.
At this time tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how Hiroki Goto defeated Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Heavyweight title.
Do it for the old man, Hiroki.
Oh, God.
Do it for us.
I'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.